I figured out my problem with Edward Helps Out. It's not my least favorite episode on Thomas Gets Tricked. It's actually trouble for Thomas because, I don't like the story and what the characters do in it. The only problem I have with Edward Helps Out is the fact the engines were kind of being jerks to him in that certain episode. That's why I didn't feel that's how Thomas should be in that certain episode. But I've changed my mind. Trouble for Thomas is my least favorite episode on Thomas Gets Tricked. Alright, let's get started. Hello everyone, and welcome to the 8th episode of Legofan 65's Childhood Inn. Now today, we are going to go back to Thomas and Friends. And let's see here, what could I cover? Well, I've covered every release in my collection that has pure Season 1 in it, so let's move up. Let's take a look at a release that has some Season 2 content on it, starting with Tenders and Turntables and Other Stories. Oh yeah, oh! Here's something! Look at this, this is kind of cheap. They've forgot to put in the S in Turntables, and now it's just Tenders and Turntable. Wonder how that happened. Alright, let's get started, shall we? Alright, so now it's time to talk about where did I first see this release, and how did I get it? And this is going to bring back loads of nostalgia for me. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so where did I first see Tenders and Turntables? Well, I saw it off numerous VHS and DVD collections off YouTube, and it was usually shown after Thomas Gets Tricked or James Learns a Lesson. And I was excited that there was a Thomas VHS in a collection that I didn't have, because once I saw that video on the collection and realized I didn't have it, I wanted to get it. I needed to have everything in my collection. Now here's the unfortunate news with this release. They never made a DVD version out of this, which was kind of a downer, but I didn't have to worry about that since I had a VCR in my room. So, yay, that was a plus, I was able to get it. Speaking of which, it's now time to talk about where did I get this release. Okay, let's get started. It's summer 2010, maybe 2011, I can't remember. I'm either 6 or 7 years old, I'm on the computer looking at Thomas releases, and my mother shows up in the room asking if you want to buy a Thomas release online. And I'm saying, heck yeah, I would love to do that. And so we go to Amazon, and she teaches me how to use the website, how to pay for things. We go to the shopping center, and there is Tenders and Turntables and Other Stories. And I am excited. I am looking for this release for quite some time. And I asked my mother, hey, I would like to get Tenders and Turntables. Can I get it? And they say yes. So we go to the shopping center, and we buy it. But here's the question. Why do I need this? I already have A Big Day for Thomas, Thomas Comes to Breakfast, Thomas and His Friends Get Along, and Friends Help Out, which is a 2009 reprint of Thomas and His Friends Help Out. I don't need this video. That's what I would say nowadays, but I guess it depends on who you think is a better narrator. Do you like Ringo Starr or George Carlin better? Back then, I didn't know what episodes were on here, so I just wanted to complete my collection. 1 or 2 weeks later, it's still summer, my mother and I walk down to the mailbox when the sun is going down, and in the mailbox is the video that I ordered off Amazon, and I am excited. I have gotten a video in the mail for the very first time, and man, so once we go back into the house to look at it, I list down the episodes that are on it, and I call my grandpa, okay, my mom was calling grandpa, and I decided to talk to him a little bit and tell him what was on the video. And when I hung up on him, okay, I gave the phone back to my mother, I run to my room and I'm watching it. So, yay! Alright, let's see what's on here. Okay, so on this release we have 7 episodes total. 6 are from Season 1 and 1 is from Season 2. We have Tenders and Turntables, Trouble in the Shed, Percy Runs Away, Thomas Comes to Breakfast, Henry's Special Call, The Flying Kipper, and Toby the Tram Engine. Whoa, wait a minute! Why does it say Toby the Train Engine on the back cover? That doesn't make any sense. Wow, we've already found our first flaw with this release. And of course, all the episodes are narrated by Ringo Starr. Alright, so what's my favorite episode on the video? Thomas Comes to Breakfast. I'm gonna put my hands down on Thomas Comes to Breakfast, because Season 2 is probably my favorite season of the entire show, and I loved reading that Level 1 book as a kid, not to be confused with that Railway Series book. Yeah, I'll have to cover the Railway Series sometime, because I read those as a kid as well. Alright, so let's go back to Thomas Comes to Breakfast. So, another reason why I love Thomas Comes to Breakfast is because it has a crash in it. And as a kid, I loved crashing my little toy trains. Take Along, Wooden Railway, Trackmaster, whatever it was at the time. So, yep, that's my favorite episode. Another episode I can praise on this video is Percy Runs Away. Because every time I went to my grandmother's house and the wooden train table was there, I recreated that episode a couple times. Do you want to see me do an episode where I cover the wooden trains? Tell me in the comments below. But it won't beat Thomas Comes to Breakfast. Now for my least favorite episode, I'm going to point out on Henry's special coal. Because Henry doesn't have the right coal and the idiots think he's faking, and that's kind of a downer. I have nothing to say here. It's not as bad as Trouble for Thomas or Thomas Goes Fishing. That's just my least favorite episode of the entire release. Alright, so in conclusion, do I recommend that your kid watches Tenders and Turntables? I guess. It depends on what they already have. Do they already have these 4 releases behind me? If they do, skip it. But unless they really like Ringo Starr's narration, and if you have a VCR in your house, I do recommend that they pick this up. So, yeah, that wraps up the 8th episode of Legofan 65's Childhood In. And before we sign off, here's something that I forgot to do with the past 3 episodes. Alright, let's see what that was. Let's do a quick ranking. Okay, not a ranking, just remind everyone what I've ranked everyone so far in my Childhood In series. Thomas Gets Tricked, 8 out of 10. James Learns a Lesson, 6 out of 10. A Big Day for Thomas, 7 out of 10 for being nostalgic, but also liking Ringo Starr's narration for Season 1 better than George Carlin's. The Early Years, the complete first season, obviously a 10 out of 10 for being a complete season. Elvis #1 hit performances, 9 out of 10. SpongeBob SquarePants, the complete first season, obviously a 10 out of 10 for having it being a complete season on DVD. The Phantom Menace, 5 out of 10. And Tenders and Turntables, 7 out of 10. Because they didn't make a DVD out of this, and the way it's listed on the back with Toby the Train Engine instead of Tram Engine. Alright, that officially covers the 8th episode of Legofan 65's Childhood In. How about next time, for episode 9, for the 30th anniversary of Beauty and the Beast, we cover the 1991 version and compare it to the live-action version from 2017. Alright, so tune in next time for that, and goodbye!